Up next, the roles are switched as high school students take on a new sport.
And parents bond with their children in a unique way.
All this and more?
Frisco ISD-TV starts now. Welcome to this edition of Frisco ISD-TV. I'm Lexi Rodriguez.
And I'm Alex Lee. Thanks for joining us. We start with It's Elementary, My Dear, where Jamie Miller gets a story on students who listen up to classic tales.
These students are sharing a night with their favorite characters. We got the word on teachers spreading a hobby that's dear to their hearts.
Dear Night is Drop Everything and Read Night.
Tadlock Elementary invited its students to hear favorite children's stories narrated by their teachers and learn about the importance of reading.
The goal would be to impart the importance of reading to parents and a love of reading to children.
This year we built in a parent education component that there's different stations around where parents can get some information on how they could help their child at home with reading.
And that's one reason that we do this, is to just emphasize literacy, how important it is, and give parents the tools to help their students.
Students seem to enjoy a chance to read outside the limits of the school day.
I think it's a good idea because kids get to listen to their teachers read stories to them, and they're good stories, everyone's stories that everyone can listen to.
Kids can read in a fun way and not just have, okay, I need to read for 30 minutes, no doing anything else.
It helps kids learn and read.
When I read, I like using different voices and stuff like that. It's the actor in me, and basically I know it gets the kids' attention, and I love Dr. Seuss, and the kids love him.
Tadlock teachers hope to turn a new page when it comes to kids' reading habits at home. I'm Jamie Miller for Frisco ISD-TV.
Thanks, Jamie. I got the chance to meet up with Mooneyham Elementary students who learned to brush up on good habits. Frisco ISD students were all smiles as they got the chance to brush up on their daily skills.
Do you remember what kind of dentist I am? Orthodontist. Very good. Orthodontist.
I became a dentist, of course, because I love science and I love the teeth and all that science stuff, but then I just really love the interpersonal relationships that I have with my patients, and I have patients of all ages, but I really love kids. Kids and teens, my heart is really for them.
Students at Mooneyham Elementary learned the importance of having healthy teeth at a young age.
Well, I really liked it because everyone got a prize, and most things you don't get a prize. And I really looked at how she explained what would happen if you didn't take care of your teeth.
That she could teach you a lot about different students and learning about how to take care of your teeth.
I liked when Croc Hollywood squirted the water at us.
Well, I like to see them get excited about brushing. I like to see them learn. It really excites me to see their eyes get big, and they always laugh when Croc Hollywood squirts them, but then when they see Mr. Muckmouth, they're absolutely horrified. And I think learning is so much fun, and I love to see that process happen.
Students filled us in on their dental hygiene knowledge.
In the future, when you're an adult, then your teeth won't be good, and you'd probably have to get quite a few fake teeth.
Your teeth can fall out, and your teeth helps you chew up healthy, so you can be healthy in your body. So you really need teeth.
I'll just start brushing them twice a day, floss them once a day.
Dr. Kreis's love for orthodontics and acting are flossed together in her career.
Well, I do it as a community service, but I also do it because I have kind of a separate part of me that really loves theater and acting, and I did a lot of that in high school, and there aren't a lot of venues to do that type of thing when you get to be an adult. So I really love coming and just performing and having fun and teaching them at the same time. So it's a fun way for them to learn. It's important that young children really learn how to take care of their teeth and get into good habits. And so it's a community service, but it's also really fun for me.
By combining her talents in performing and dentistry, Dr. Kreis has created a presentation that both entertains and informs. I'm Lexi Rodriguez for Frisco ISD-TV.
Next in higher learning, Sam Stockard tackles the annual tradition where girls make the touchdowns.
Powder puff football is a game of role reversal. However, some Frisco ISD schools feel it's become a danger to students.
We actually participated in that, sponsored by Student Council for 3 years. And for 3 consecutive years, Centennial High School had students with major injuries due to either overzealous tackling in flag football, which is not supposed to happen, or what the case may be. And then we had 2 or 3 other broken arms. And so our situation, as far as Centennial High School not participating in flag football or powder puff football any longer, is strictly due to the injuries that we were sustaining and the financial cost that it was bringing about by some of our students who were just wanting to participate in a fun activity.
While it's the injuries at Centennial, at Wakeland, it's a different matter.
In my experience personally in other school districts is that if there were any tensions or animosity or conflicts, they kind of came out on the field. That I experienced personally that as soon as a ball was snapped, and you had rules that you couldn't touch or couldn't hit or anything, but yet maybe a student thought it was worth a day in ISS to get 1 slug in. And I personally, as an official for powder puff, early on, experienced that where a student took a shot and we removed them from the game. I believe they got consequences, and that wasn't appropriate. And you don't want to have to deal with those things. That detracts from the game. The other thing is that you get the boys, reversing roles and dressing up as cheerleaders, as drill team, or different aspects. Maybe they overdo a costume. Well, that's inappropriate, but also that's degrading to those cheerleading drill team and the role they play in an activity normally. So it is kind of a combination of things.
School sponsored or not, students seem to favor the tradition.
I think it's awesome. I think it's good because it gets for the juniors it's like the start of the senior year, and then for the seniors it's like ending theirs, and it's fun.
I think it's a great way for the seniors and juniors to, play together and just have a great time.
All of the Frisco ISD high schools held powder puff games this school year, and although none were school affiliated, students were still allowed to use campus facilities. Whether or not powder puff games should be associated with the schools is still up for discussion. However, people still show up to watch the girls sweat it out and the boys jump and shout. I'm Sam Stockard for Frisco ISD-TV.
So Alex, do you have any pets?
Do little sisters count?
Very funny. Brittany Sides got in touch with furry friends and high-tech happenings.
This CTE program allows students to get their paws dirty and help out furry friends.
Vet Tech is a class that allows my students to work in a vet clinic throughout the Frisco ISD area. It allows the students to work in a clinic, gain real-world experience, and they get to see a lot more than they would get to see in our classroom. They get to see surgeries, they get to work in the kennels, they just see all kinds of stuff, real-world situations that they would see actually in a vet clinic.
Scalpels and stethoscopes are not the only tools needed for the job. Students apply their skills to get tails wagging.
Kind of have to have a strong stomach. In some cases, a lot of gross stuff happens. I hold dogs for exams and drawing blood, and I run like blood work and stuff. Like after we draw blood, I'll run diagnostic blood work on it and do fecal floats, which is kind of gross, but I do that too.
Shu hopes vet techs are well groomed to handle all activity in a clinic.
The number one thing I expect from my students is for them to be very professional, be professional in all areas, whether they're dealing with a euthanasia or whether they're in a surgery, whether they're just taking a dog out for a walk. Anytime that they're dealing with customers, they need to be very professional.
Working in the clinic gives students a chance to leap into their future.
Hopefully by the time that they leave, kind of know how to draw blood samples, how to mix vaccinations, run anesthesia, know what certain types of medications are used for, run lab tests. So they really get a feel for all of that and are trained how to do that. So that's our goal.
Trainees even get to help with surgeries.
When he uses a laser, the smoke goes in the air, and if you don't vacuum it up, it smells like burnt skin. And then after the surgery, we took the IV out, put a gauze around it so it doesn't bleed, unhooked the heart monitor, and took the breathing tube out.
This experience helps them make sure they're not barking up the wrong tree.
It allows the kids to learn, is this something they want to do for the rest of their life, or is this something that they've decided wasn't what they thought it was? And that's just as important, because they get to see that it's not all just playing with puppies and kittens and things like that.
I think it's a really good experience, especially if you're thinking about being a vet. It's a really good experience, and you see if you want to be one or not. I know some people are they took this class and they kind of decided they didn't want to because it wasn't their thing, but for me it really made me want to be one more.
For these future vets, getting to work with animals is a real treat. I'm Brittany Sides for Frisco ISD-TV.
Thanks, Brittany. Jacob Rhymes went to an FISD event to discover overachievers, but not students.
With the pressures of modern life, some parents find it hard to spend quality time with their kids. This event brought fathers and football stars together to encourage dads to shine.
This is something where they're trying to get the parents involved with the kids, and today they was talking about dads, and within my speech I want to talk about parents, because some kids have a dad, some kids have just a mom, so the mom have to be the dad and the mom, and really it's just responsibility.
Parents and students showed up for the contests and celebrities and stayed for the message.
I feel like the dads get kind of pushed to the side or pushed to the back or left out or just totally forgotten. And so I've made a point every year to do something that recognizes and helps emphasize to the dads that they're important.
Former NFL players autographed items for the crowd and reflected on the importance of good parenting.
We live in a society today and a generation today where there's a lack of fathers' involvement in their children's lives. And so Dads Are Stars wants to promote and encourage fathers, father figures, grandfathers, uncles, those that are looking out after young people, to get involved in their life and to encourage them, to help them along the way, to teach them that the sky's the limit for them, that they do have a lot of promise and a lot of potential.
I'm Jacob Rhymes for Frisco ISD-TV.
That concludes this edition of Frisco ISD-TV.
Join us next time as we find out the meaning of swag
and how elementary schools are bold champions with learning. I'm Lexi Rodriguez.
And I'm Alex Lee.
Thanks for watching.